Hi, this is Cathy with City Farmhouse Studio. Today I want to talk to you about the Spring Flower Scrubby. It is a wonderful 5-petaled flower with 3 different layers. Fairly easy to make, but it does get more complicated depending on your yarn choices. So the solid smooth yarn that I've used is 24/7 cotton by Lion Brand yarn. It is a worsted for medium weight. 3.5 ounces, 100-gram ball, has 186 yards and 170 meters. It's 100% mercerized cotton. Comes in all kinds of lovely colors and shades. For the scrubby, this makes an excellent yarn to use. It's nice and smooth. It holds up well. It's very durable. For a little bit more of an advanced option, you can add in one of the layers of the scrubby to be this Red Heart Scrubby yarn. It is 3 ounces, 85 grams, 78 yards, 71 meters, and it also is a category for worsted weight yarn. I do really like these scrubby yarns from Red Heart. It does make it a little bit harder of a yarn to pull through on your stitches than the cotton yarn. It also is very much harder to see your stitch definitions with all these little bits that blur everything. The gradated yarn does help so you can see the color shifts between the different stitches. But if you are a very new crocheter, I definitely would not recommend using scrubby yarn until you can have a little bit more experience knowing what stitches you're looking for. You will need a size H 5mm hook. And I am doing this sample with 2 different cotton yarns, and then I'll show you the last round to be the scrubby yarn. I have done multiple variations where I've used different textures throughout different ones, and I've shown where you can change 3 different yarns. So you have a lot of options, and based on your technical capabilities, your experience, how much of this texture scrubby yarn you want to do, you have some options. So for this, I'm going to start with the color 1, this rose color in the 24/7 cotton. And what it does is it begins with a slip knot on your hook. And you begin with a chain 4. And then you slip stitch into that very first chain that you made. And that creates a little bitty ring. And this is going to start in the center of the smallest leaf of the petals. So here I have an example. So we're starting in this center portion of the smallest group. So now we're on round 1, and we're going to chain 1, and that just gets our hook to the next highest spot. So we can now work 5 single crochets into this ring. So pull up a loop and draw a loop through the 2 on the hook. That's 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now I always have to go back around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is my 5th one of my single crochets, because I want to slip stitch in that to close this round. All right, so that's round 1. Now round 2, we're going to chain 3. And we're going to skip this first single crochet that we just slip stitched into. And we're going to make 1 single crochet, chain 3. Now do that in the next stitch over. So single crochet, chain 3, onto your next stitch, single crochet, chain 3, so now I have made 4 of those little petals, and I have a chain 3 up. I'm going to slip stitch into that first area where we began. And now we're on to round 3. And this is what really makes the petals. So we're going to make stitches in these loops, and we're going to increase the size of the stitches and then decrease the size of the stitches. So the first is a single crochet in the chain area. Now we're going to do a half double crochet, which is you wrap the yarn, insert it in, pull it up, so it's just like you would make a double crochet, but you're going to pull through all 3 stitches on the hook. And now we'll make 3 double crochets. So wrap the yarn, pull up a loop, draw through 2, draw through 2, wrap, pull up a loop, draw through 2, draw through 2. So that's 2 double crochets. You'll have to keep scooching these stitches down to give yourself room. And I need my 3rd double crochet. Now we need to come back down the size. So a half double crochet. So that was through all 3 loops. Now a single crochet. And then we're going to slip stitch in the next stitch, which for this one is the single crochet of the round before. And we're going to make that grouping for the petals in this next chain area. So a single crochet, wrap for a half double crochet, pull through all 3, do 3 double crochets, and then we want to come back down. So half double crochet, and a single crochet, slip stitch in the stitch next to it, and go on the next chain area with a single crochet, half, 3 doubles, half double crochet, my last single, and a slip stitch. So there I finished my 5 petals, and I'm to this last slip stitch at the beginning of the round to that stitch. Now if I want to continue with this pink yarn, I would just slip stitch into with this yarn, but I'm going to change colors. So I've cut my yarn, and on that last pull through of the slip stitch, that's where you switch your color. And I don't even knot that, I just pull that tight, and then I'll weave that in to secure it. Same with the front end of this new color. And now we're on to round 4. And round 4 states to chain 4 and slip stitch into each of the slip stitches of round 3. So that's where we've joined all of these kind of flower clusters together, that lowest point. I'm just going to go in through there. Make a slip stitch. Then I'm going to chain 4. And slip stitch. I'm going to do this all the way around. Okay, so now I'm done my last chain 4. I'm going to slip stitch into the last slip stitch of the previous round, which remember we changed colors on, so it's right here. And there we go. Now we're ready to make the petals on this level of clusters. And for that, we again are going to build up with the 1 single crochet, the 1 half double crochet. Now instead of our tall stitches being a double crochet, we're going to do treble crochet. So we need to make 1 double crochet, and 4 trebles. And what a treble is, a treble crochet, you wrap your yarn 2 times around your hook, insert and pull up a loop, go through 2 loops on the hook, 2 loops on the hook, and then the last 2 loops. So reminds you of a double crochet, just a few more pull throughs of the loops that have collected on your hook. That was 2. 3. 4. Now it's time to go back down, so a double crochet, a half double crochet, and then our single, and then a slip stitch in the next stitch, and then we repeat that in the next chain section. So single crochet, half double crochet, double, wrap twice for treble, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to go back down with the double crochet, a half double crochet, and our single, and then slip stitch in that stitch. Okay, so I've come around and I'm to the portion where I need to slip stitch in that last stitch of the round. So I'm going to go ahead and insert my hook. Now if I want to continue on with the purple, I'd stay with it, but I want to change my color. So I'll cut my yarn and I'll show you this scrubby textured yarn with it. So I'll pull that through to make my last slip stitch. Of round 5. Now we're beginning round 6. And round 6 and 7 are very similar to round 4 and 5. It's just increasing the sizes. So instead of chaining 4, we're going to chain 5. And instead of 4 treble crochets on the petals, we're going to do 6. That's the only change. So if you are maintaining the same yarn, it will increase and it will look different. You can see the size increases between the first, second, and third rounds. So again, for round 6, chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I don't know if you can tell in the video, but this textured yarn does not slide on through itself as easy. So you kind of have to make sure you're giving yourself a big enough loop. And slip stitching in between each group. We repeat just like we did in round 4. So once you've come around and made your last chain 5, we're going to slip stitch into that beginning slip stitch of the color, which, if you remember, was the last slip stitch of the previous round. And now we're ready to make the petals of the 3rd level. And like I said before, it's the same as level 2, which is a single crochet, half double crochet, a double crochet, and these are harder to scooch down to make room. And now we want those 6 treble crochets. So again, wrap twice, pull up a loop, pull through 2 on the hook, pull through 2 on the hook, pull through 2 on the hook. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our 6th treble. So again, after the trebles, we want to come back down in the stitch sizes. So we do the double crochet, the half double crochet, and the single crochet, and we slip stitch in the slip stitch before, and here you can really start to see how difficult it is to read your stitches, because all of those tabs that stick off to make the scrubby kind of hide everything. So then we keep repeating that grouping all the way around. Single, half, double, one treble, two, 3, 4, 6. And then we come back down, double, half, squeeze in my last single, and slip stitch. Okay, so I finished my last single crochet on the last round. And I want to slip stitch in this last stitch, slip stitch of the previous round, and then I'll pull through to bind off. And weave in my ends. So after you weave in your ends, you have your little scrubby just like that. You do have the choice to decide whether you want your petals to curve rounded away from you, or if you just poke everything through each other, pop it through, and give them a little tug to lay out petals. They do lay a little bit more flat. And this is the orientation that I prefer, but there's nothing wrong with the other one. So there you are, a nice little pattern to make some spring flower scrubbies. Really brighten up your kitchen or bathroom. Makes a great gift. Anyone will love a nice handmade scrubby to brighten up going into spring. Thank you for watching this pattern by City Farmhouse Studio. Please be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss out on any other great patterns from City Farmhouse Studio. Thanks again. Bye.